Hey guys, East Texas Wildman. I just wanted to share a few comments I had on some of these survival shows and how they may give survivalists and bushcrafters kind of a bad name. So let me get comfortable here and we'll do it. Okay, so I just got finished watching the finale of season 3 of Alone, and it made me think a lot. These guys are all skilled bushcrafters or survivalists or whatever you want to call them, whatever they call themselves, hippies, whatever. And there's a lot of people there that had a lot of skill, a lot of really good skills. And every time I watch these shows, I kind of feel like it's, they've taken away the most important part of being able to survive and provide food for yourself. So all these shows are really just to show, just watching people starve to death slowly. And there's a few other videos. I think the Wooded Beardsman, he has some real good stuff on this. Somebody else I just watched recently too had some stuff about this. Might have been Viking Preparedness. I don't remember. Anyway, so you watch these shows and these people are gathering food and fishing and trying to set snares and all that stuff. And they never can provide enough calories. They're all losing weight. I mean, what did the winner of this year, the season win? He lost what, 60, 70 pounds, his body weight in basically 3 months. It's to me it gives people with survival skills and bushcrafters and even beginning bushcrafters, it may deter their interest or make them feel like this is a futile thing to even try to do. We're just going to starve to death in the woods, right? Well, the thing, they tie all their hands in these shows by not letting them move. They're set to one place, and I don't know how big their place is. I don't know what their parameters are. I don't know if they give them a square mile to forage or what, but if you look at history, all the way back to prehistoric man and then the Native Americans and in any kind of culture like that, the way they fed themselves was by being nomadic. They would travel from hunting ground to hunting ground to different times of the year. This spot here is good for this, and the other time of year the buffalo are running over here, the elk are here. They moved around for their food. And I don't think anybody could survive in one spot. I mean, we have close to 80 acres here. You couldn't survive on this one piece of property very long. The hunting, and you would chase the animals off to different grounds, whatever. It's not sustainable. The only way to sustain yourself in the wilderness is to keep moving. Always changing your environment, finding what is good and at what time of year, what is plentiful and what is not, and chasing those plentiful things. That's the only way to do it. And that's not to say that the Native Americans didn't have times when they were all very, very hungry. Food wasn't very plentiful, and they went through times like that. And generally, they'd be moving on to another place, or they'd move on to a place that was like usually good for buffalo, and the buffalo herd didn't come that year, or it didn't come in the mass that it normally does. So, there's things that happen, but the only way to survive and get the calories that you need to be able to survive is to be able to range. to be nomadic, always moving to different places. You know, that's not to say, you know, you don't have a, you know, a spring location, a winter location, location for fish, location for big game, locations for different types of wild edibles. You know, but it's not all going to be at one spot. You're never going to find one spot that will be able to sustain you for very long. So to me, I think that these survival shows, well, I'm not really counting Naked and Afraid. To me, that's just idiocy. It's a drama show, but the Alone show, particularly, because you have trained people, they know how to do it in the woods, but their hands are tied, and they're not allowed to range and to roam and to find the resources that they need. So, to me, I think that, I don't know, delegitimizes us, the bushcrafters or the survivalists, or maybe even causes doubt in a lot of our community and in our skills over a long term. And then there's the, you know, look at, what was her name, Callie, the hippie girl that built the wind chimes and built a really nice hooch, and yeah, she had it going on. She was in a good location. She had she had plenty of fish. She had plenty of vegetation to consume for medicine. You know, she treated herself with those spider wounds. You know, she had a good location, but even her location would have eventually dried up. You can only use the resources so long in the wilderness before they just disappear. So you don't run an area completely dry. You hunt an area, get what you need, and if it starts to slow down, then move on to another area. You don't deplete it. So you always have a place to go back to later on. But anyway, it's just a few thoughts I had about it. And I hope it doesn't discourage people from thinking that they'd be able to survive in the wild. I mean, you can. And, you know, probably the most important thing is your psychological presence, the stamina, psychological stamina, and then being able to move around and find resources. So, just a few thoughts, guys. Sitting out here in the woods in East Texas. So, hey, it's a beautiful weekend. Get out there and play a little bit. God bless.